What's going on, family? It's your girl Guruji Chastity, and today I want to What's going on, family? It's your girl Guruji Chastity, and today I want to talk about what is a mother wound. That is the name of the game for me, healing my mother wound and helping other women do the same. And a lot of my work is around this particular topic. A lot of my practices are around this particular topic. And it was me getting comfortable saying that I had a mother wound and that I was in the midst of healing it that allowed me to create the space for the work that I do now. And so come with me, family, as we take a look at what a mother wound is, why it's important, three significant aspects of a mother wound, and ways you can learn how to continue to deepen your knowledge and engage your life in a more meaningful way by learning what these tools are and how they can help you practically. So to kick things off, I want to share why I decided to create this video in the first place. And that's because motherhood and mother wound is a very taboo topic to talk about together because motherhood is such a coveted position. And so what that means is that normally when daughters share their experience of their mother normally feels persecuted in some type of way. And it's in the mother's persecution that causes the daughter to not feel seen, not feel heard, not feel supported, not feel like her truth is relevant. And so I feel like I've taken it upon myself to create a safe space for others to heal from that, but more importantly, myself. The work that I do, I've come to learn, is simply a byproduct of me helping myself, a byproduct of me working to find my own individuation as I shed some of the illusions or some of the traumas that I've been through, right? And so that is why we are here today and why I find it important to talk about, what a mother wound is, how to heal from it, how it impacts your life, and all of that good stuff. So, first things first intention is just getting very clear on what a mother wound is. And so let's hear it. A mother wound is trauma you've inherited from your mother who inherited it from her mother. Okay. And so it is very significant in terms of the matriarchy of a family. We know that we have a working of a mother wound afoot when there are three generations or more of women affected by this particular wound. And so again, a mother wound is simply, and here's the thing that I want everybody to be clear on. We talk about this information, we share what's going on, but it shows up in everybody's life differently. And so that's the thing that we have to pay attention to and look out for. And so that's why you don't come here with the idea of trying to take my advice verbatim, because it might not show up in your life that way. And so the idea is to get the perspective, right? And so, excuse me, say all that to say that a mother wound is simply unhealed trauma you inherited from your mother who inherited it from her mother. And until somebody deals with it, it's just going to keep getting passed along from woman to woman, right? So that is what a mother wound is. Why is a mother wound important, you ask? Because like, well, okay, I get that, but what's the point? Why are you telling me this? The reason why learning about just how the thing works is because a lot of us are plagued by the symptoms of a mother wound, but we don't realize that that's what it is. And so we lacked the practical tools and just the emotional capability to help ourselves or to help others or to connect with ourselves or to connect with others. You see what I'm saying? And so the reason why this is important, because I want to break down that if you had a strained relationship with your mother growing up, it is going to strain the relationship you have with yourself as you become an adult. And here's why. And this is why this is important. How your mother showed love to you growing up is how you're going to show love to yourself as an adult. And we know that the time really matters when you're an adult, when you're out here trying to make it for yourself. And this is normally where a lot of us struggle because things don't make sense, but we're trying really hard, but we just feel inadequate. We feel incomplete. We feel unworthy, right? But it's because we are mimicking a love that we received as a child, but it didn't fully serve us, right? It didn't fully serve us at all. And so some of the signs that you can begin to look for to see if, like, well, dang, am I loving myself the way my mother loved me as a kid, is in your adult life. If you are overly self-critical, if you're impatient, if you isolate yourself from others, if you're naturally just fearful all the time of like the unknown, and so you don't bust a move because you don't know, if you naturally just don't feel unseen, and or excuse me, if you naturally feel unseen as an adult, these are all symptoms and signs that you are loving on yourself. You are connecting with yourself in the present moment as an adult, the way that your mother loved and connected with you as a child. And this is why this is important, because in terms of creating the life that you want to live and lead, it has to be done with love. It can't be done in a self-critical space. It can't be done in an impatient, judgmental space. It can't be done in isolation. It can't be done when you're fearful, right? It can't be done when you feel unseen. And so to undo all of this stuff, you have to know what's causing it in the first place. And it's just simply trauma that's been passed down. And so, yeah, you have your own name of the game in terms of the trauma, right? How you put your own unique consciousness on it. But a lot of times we be dealing with issues that aren't even our own. They are being passed down from generation to generation. And if we aren't aware of this, we'll take accountability for something. We'll create a story that says, yeah, that's my problem. But once you realize that, like, hey, somebody didn't take accountability about that before, I know that I can and do something about it. But if I know what's going on, I don't have to be plagued by them stories. I don't have to be plagued by this idea of being unworthy, or not trusting myself, or not feeling safe or comfortable in my own body. I don't even have to go down that line because I know what's going on. That is the purpose. That is the intention. And that is why it's important to know particularly what a mother wound is, and if it impacts you, right? And so I want to share 3 significant aspects of a mother wound that I am familiar with, that a lot of my students deal with, and that I personally have overcome or am working to overcome, right? And the first one being is abandonment. Okay? When you have a unhealed mother wound, you normally will experience the symptoms of abandonment, right? And what you learn as you heal, what you learn through one-on-one coaching, is that what you're trying to transmute abandonment into is trusting yourself, is following your intuition, right? Those are normally what you're robbed of when you have this unhealed wound and you're just walking around throughout life thinking that you're fine, but you're not okay, right? Secondly is body image issues, right? This will come up. Not feeling safe and secure in your own body will come up if you're dealing with an unhealed mother wound. And the idea is, or how you transmute that into something positive, is learning that you're all right, or learning to express when you're not all right. Okay? Learning to accept that normally how you feel is based on stories you're creating in your head, and it's not your external reality that creates how you feel. It's how you feel that creates your external reality. And once you get comfortable in seeing that, you can become comfortable in knowing that, like, this is what I'm creating. You can feel happy about what you're creating. You can feel happy about yourself in being who you want to be for what you're creating, right? That is how we transmute body image issues from an unhealed mother wound. And the last aspect I want to share with you is people-pleasing behavior. People-pleasing behavior is the inability to say what you want and what you need because you fear getting attacked, right? You fear being misunderstood, right? And so the way you transmute people-pleasing behavior is setting and maintaining healthy boundaries. But all of these 3 things, not just people-pleasing behavior, all of these 3 things start with you, right? And I want to point this out. This is a very significant aspect of healing your mother wound, is that we're not doing this work to scold our mothers. We're not doing this work to say, oh, my mother was bad. In fact, we're doing this work so that we can relinquish the stories that we know of our mother, right? And actually experience our mother for who she actually is, and get to know her as a person, and not getting to know her through the stories in our minds we created about her. That's why we do this work. And so healing your mother wound is less about what your mother didn't do or couldn't do for you. It is more about you becoming, you fulfilling the space, right? You fully embodying the space that says that you are worthy of the love that you felt like you deserved from your mother, right? And so healing your mother wound is all about focusing on you. It's all about knowing who you are. It's all about believing in yourself in spite of what you maybe experienced, in spite of what you've maybe been told, right? And so we aren't here to bash our mothers. We aren't here to point out how they were wrong, right? That is a way to go about your healing, and I've done it. But I will just be honest and say that it slows you down. Pointing fingers always slows you down, but taking personal accountability for creating the circumstances in your life or creating the environments that bred abandonment, that bred body image issues, that bred people pleasing behaviors slow you down, right? And so sometimes it's a lot easier to just it's a lot easier to examine, are you adhering? Are you accepting what you were taught? Or are you doing the work to unlearn that? Right? And so again, this has nothing to do with bashing our mothers or being combative. This has everything to do with walking towards ourselves, for seeing and being with ourselves how we deserved as a child. And that should be the main focus of all of this, right? And so I know that this is sometimes, I can't think of the opposite word, but what I do know is that it takes a lot of courage to outwardly say, hey, this bothers me. It takes courage to outwardly say that I need help or I need support or I'm unsure of this. And it definitely takes courage to say to your mother, I love you, but this is how you impacted my life. I want to share this with you. Right? It takes a lot of courage to do that. And so realize and understand, when you go about healing this wound, it's not going to be easy. We hope that it will. It is my aim that I provide you practical tools that ease the suffering you'll go through on this journey. But I need you to know that it's all worth it, to not give up, that it's going to be difficult. Nobody ever said it was going to be easy, but everybody always said it was worth it, right? And so for more tips on how to heal your mother wound, please check out the blog post in the description, which is where I shared 3 practical tips on how to heal your mother wound. This blog post goes in depth about what we talked about today and how to actually implement it in your everyday life. Today was really about, we just want the information. We just want the awareness. I just want to bring this to the forefront of your mind so you can know what I'm talking about and see if it even applies to you, because it might not apply. If it don't apply, let it fly. You see what I'm saying? And so it might not even apply to you. And so I want you to get comfortable exploring this information, getting curious. So if this resonates with you and you want to take it a little bit deeper, you want to see how abandonment, body image issues, and people pleasing behavior really shows up in your everyday life and how to transmute it, please click the blog link in the description of this video and check it out. You can follow my social media pages at guruji.chastity on Facebook and Instagram, where I give out I'm talking about quick, practical tips to support yourself as you heal your mother wound and just move through your healing journey, your spiritual journey in general. All right, family, until next time, I love you. Peace out.